Welcome back, everyone. This is a 1961 GMC that I've been working on for a while now, and today we're going to take a break from the engine and deal with these old breakdown rims by replacing them with something a bit more modern. 7 new wheels and tires. Of course, only 5 of them are here. One's in the shop and waiting on the spare, but I'm hoping that these actually fit. I gave them all the measurements and the make and model of the vehicle, and they came up with the wheel size and tire size. And I've got one over here, and as we can see, it's just a little bit bigger than the tire that's here. It's about, I measured it, diameter with the wheel and tire and everything came to 31 inches. On the existing tire, it comes to about 29 3/4, almost 30. So I think these will work, assuming they bolt on. I hope they work. The only thing that I'm worried about is this right here. I mean, there's not a lot of clearance there. I don't know if it'll be enough. Hopefully this tire maybe will be in a little bit farther and won't catch that. Then again, I can pull on that whole fender, so that actually may be bent in, and we might have to pull that out a little bit to get it to fit the tires. But I think it's still going to clear. It's just, getting mud or something into that might cause a problem there, and maybe it's been that way all of its life. I don't know. But I just need to find out if these are going to bolt on. So I'm going to, while I have them, the truck and everything here, try and throw them on, make sure that, if they don't fit, I can run them back up to the store. So I got good news and bad news. Good news is it looks like the wheels fit. The bad news is, and this is a tip for all of you, whenever you buy wheels and tires, make sure they give you the actual lug nuts that go with them. With these, the end of the stud is almost flush with this area here, which is good because the lug nut itself will go in between there and index the wheel to the spindle, which on the older vehicles, the index was this ring here. So that's how come it was always tight, is because the weight of the truck rode on this hub. But with these newer ones, it actually rides on the studs like it's supposed to. But and I even looked at my receipt. They charged me for it, but didn't actually load it in the truck. So this will have to wait till tomorrow so I can go swing by and get the lug nuts. But I think we're good here. It looks like these will fit nicely. They look good. This kind of concerns me here. There's not a lot of space there. I'm not entirely sure what we'll be able to do about that. You know, maybe once these get cinched down on here, well, I don't see them coming back longer than that. But then again, I mean, the body of this may be bent, so it's better than what we had anyway. Well, these wheels and tires look good. Unfortunately, this is definitely the wrong size. That is not even an inch of clearance there. And so I was looking at the old tire, and this is a 6.5-16, which really doesn't have a modern equivalent, but given these 16-inch rims, and the entire diameter of this tire is 29 inches. These new ones are 31. So to get a tire that will make it 29 inches on this is a 225/75. These are 235/85s. Anyway, the guy said that it should be about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches shorter in diameter and about 1/4 of an inch less thick. So, and then that's about the best that I'm going to be able to do on this. Hopefully that will clear this area here, or at least get it with enough of a clearance there to where, you know, the wheel doesn't bounce up and hit it. Bad news is that I got to load up all these back and take them back to the store and this is fast becoming a comedy of errors. The inside steel wheels do not fit over the brake drum. These are the new brake drums. I tried even with the old brake drums, which are a little bit smaller, still doesn't fit right. So no matter what, I won't be able to use these steel wheels. Another problem we have is supposedly these are hub-centric adapters, and this will fit over like so and take up the gap between the steel wheel and the hub. Unfortunately, you can see there we've got maybe 30 thousandths there of clearance between the end of the ring and the end of the raised part on that. So they sent an additional ring for the outside wheel And yeah, there's just nothing for it to grip onto. So that's not going to work either. And another thing that I noticed, if we look over here at this front wheel, that is not an offset dual wheel. So on any other dually that I've seen, including the wheels that I got for this truck, all the wheels are offset. That way your spare can replace either the front or the rear. These look like just normal truck wheels. And the fact that this is a K1500 truck, which makes it a 3/4 ton, not a 1 ton. And I've never seen a 3/4 ton with dual wheels. Makes me suspect that maybe this didn't leave the factory with dual wheels. And that would make a lot of sense considering the history. And another problem, once both wheels are on here, and I did this in real time months and months ago. I don't know where it's going to be in this video, but there wasn't a lot of clearance between here and the outer wheel. So, with all that being said, I think I'm going to put this back to normal wheels, not a dually, and keep the, well, if these ring adapters fit, I'll try and keep them. If not, well, then I've lost my money on that. Big thing will be whether or not I can get the tire shop to take back the wheels and order me ones that aren't dual wheels, and see if we can get that going. But yeah, just one problem after the other. I found a couple of steel 8-lug Chevy GMC wheels that fit perfectly on here. And this is what it would look like with single wheels instead of dual. So I may try that, see how that works. It's too bad I couldn't find 4 of these rims, and then wouldn't have to buy any, but maybe I can take these up to the tire shop and they can find me new ones that are similar, or where to get them. According to the service manual and visual identification stuff I've seen online, this is a Dana 60 rear axle, or as GMC service manual refers to it, a Spicer 60 rear axle. I guess that's a 60 right there. I thought it might have been an 80, but supposedly on the 80s of the ones that I've seen don't have this ridge, and the plug is not square, it's a hex that goes inside. So when I tried to look up the BOM number over here, but from what I could get out of that, I couldn't find any matches. But from what the book says, from what it looks like, from what's stamped on it, it's a Dana 60, and this being a 3/4 ton pickup, I think this was never supposed to have dual wheels on it. I think it came with single wheels. So this is the front wheel hub, and you can see where the lip of this tire just barely comes over that. And then going to the back, we can see, put this slide up here. Again, barely comes over that. This fits exactly on here like the front wheel does. And from what I'm finding online, the hubs that are actually made for dual wheels have a longer piece here to accommodate the two wheels. And they're usually Dana 70s and not 60s. So my best guess is somebody got some dual wheels and said, yeah, we'll just slap them on there. And while those would fit, nothing modern will. And like I said earlier, with the modern wheels on there, it comes dangerously close to hitting that. So I think I'm going to go back to singles. I think it'd look better anyway. After that whole wheel and tire fiasco, I decided to just take those back and get basically the cheapest I could find. These are trailer wheels, I think, and I went from dual back to singles on here at first because I thought, and really what is in the owner's manual and service manual on this truck, is that it came with single wheels. It's 3/4 ton. However, I've noticed a few things that make me believe that this was modified after it left the factory. One is somebody added this in here to extend these fenders out. And then second is, see this diamond plate right here? This was added on because the original step ended right back here, so something had to make up the difference where they added that. So they added this diamond plate on the side. And then finally, oh yeah, another thing is on these hubs, this lip here is in fact larger back here than on the front wheels up here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but and then finally I measured the distance between the front axle, the two wheels on the front axle, and the two wheels on the back axle. The back axle was actually a little bit shorter, so that makes me think that somebody came in there and swapped out the rear axle and swapped out the hubs to support dual wheels and extended the body here, and that was something done, you know, after the vehicle left the factory. And it's still a Dana 60 rear end, which, I don't know if we can see it down here, that those did come in flavors that supported dual wheels. So I think for right now, you know, I need to move on and to other things on this truck. So I think I'm going to keep these wheels and tires the way they are. They don't look too bad. And then later on down the road, we can address putting dual wheels back on these. But anyway, this is a long process, and I'm looking forward to working on other things and on this truck and driving it around and so forth. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I've got a lot of other content on this truck that I'm going to try and put together and get that out here before too long.